Your meals every now and then. It's good to treat yourself so you don't have to cook your own breakfast when there's so many great local places you can support. Good news, it's Takeout Tuesday, and News 3 showing you some spots around town saying, hey, we are open.
This morning, reporter Anthony Sabella live in Newport News, getting ready to check back in with a place that was not going to let the pandemic shut them down. Anthony, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Blaine and Jessica. So we're here along Warwick Boulevard, right next to the campus of Christopher Newport University. Behind me is Byrd's Restaurant. It's a breakfast and brunch spot sure to get your mouth watering. We first met them back in April, and just like every other restaurant, the COVID-19 pandemic really impacted things here. When we last checked in for Takeout Tuesday, Byrd's had just cut its hours, so it wasn't even open on Tuesdays. Happy to report now that that's changed, and in just the last few weeks, really, now they're open here Tuesday through Sunday. The Snyder family runs this place, and owner Jason Snyder takes pride in making everything from scratch. He told us a few months ago it's all about staying positive.
You got to keep an upbeat spirit, you know. I'm not trying to close my doors, and I'm going to keep open as long as I can. Limiting the hours is tough. It's what I have to do, but you know, we're going to make it through and be back open, hopefully.
And of course, now you can dine back in. Back then, you could only take things takeout or delivery. Now, with COVID-19 shutting things down early at CNU last spring, next door here, you can bet there was an impact, especially losing out on all that business from graduation ceremonies. So coming up on News 3 this morning, we're going to check back in with Byrd's, talk about how things have been going since we last spoke with them a few months ago. And, you know, folks are starting to move back into CNU, so we'll talk about what it's like to have those students back and that clientele back. Well, again, that's coming up a little bit later here on News 3 this morning. We're live in Newport News. Anthony Sabella, back to you.
All right, Anthony, thank you. And at 5:19, a reminder, News 3 taking action to help find a cure for childhood cancer. Now, our 20th year to team with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for our Dream Home Giveaway. Here's a look at this year's home, and the big giveaway is coming up real soon, just 6 days away. The home is in the Ocean View neighborhood. It is worth nearly $500,000, just a couple of blocks away from the beaches in the Chesapeake Bay. And of course, you're supporting a wonderful mission. Families who receive treatment in St. Jude's never get a bill for treatment, for housing, for food, and you can be part of that support network by reserving a ticket for the home. $100 ticket could get you the house. Not a lot of tickets left, by the way. The drawing's this Sunday, and you can reserve your ticket right now, 800-851-5323. That number also scrolling at the bottom of your screen throughout the morning in case you missed it just now.
All right, our time now, 5:19. Still to come on News 3 this morning. COVID-19 pushing many families to take a road trip. Tips you can do if your best friend comes along for the ride.
Good morning, it's 5:23. I want to show you what we're watching in the tropics. Two different areas for potential formation. So we have a low that's just on the Caribbean side of the Windward Islands, moving towards the west and northwest. About a 60% chance for development over the next 5 days. We'll be watching that as it moves to the Caribbean Sea, closer to the Yucatan Peninsula there. As we fly out into the open waters of the Atlantic, this one looking a little bit better. A cluster of clouds you see about 700 miles from the Cabo Verde Islands, also moving west to northwest, but about a 70 to 90% chance for development with this one. So this could become a tropical system within the next day or two, so worth watching that one. Today here at home, nice, partly cloudy, upper 80s, not bad for this time of year. Mid 80s, but another chance for showers and storms, about a 50% chance for tomorrow, a 40% chance for Thursday.
Miles, thanks. It is now 5:24. The Great American Road Trip doesn't have to be just for, you know, the two-legged kids in your family.
Yeah, bringing your four-legged buddies along means quite a bit more preparation to keep them safe and healthy. So we spoke to an expert to get some pet road trips.
Hitting the open road for a family vacation has long been a tradition, but what about our four-legged friends?
When I say they become our family, they really have become our kids for so many pet owners.
Jonna Devereaux, a clinical pet nutritionist, shares with us some pet road trip survival tips. For starters, bring a little home with you.
So when we think about getting in a car and driving, that's not necessarily stressful for us, but for some dogs, it can become a stressful experience.
Yawning a lot, drooling, and licking their lips can be cues that they're stressed. So bringing something that they're familiar with may help chill them out.
Whether it be a bed or a favorite toy, or if you have a dog that's a chewer, you can bring a safety device like a Bully Buddy.
Chew toys can be a good distraction for them.
And chewing supports a healthy mental state.
Things like blankets and dog beds also help.
That sense of smell really does make an association that can provide them with comfort and ease.
Next, take care of their motion sickness.
And if you have a pet that's never been on a car ride, I'm going to say set them up for success and don't make the first time they're in the car when you're about to get on the road for 100 miles.
Take them around the block and on short trips to see how they handle it. If it turns out they do have issues with car rides,
there are some things that you can naturally do to help their body, and one of them is to give them a natural, what we consider a spice. It's ginger.
It comes in powder or liquid form, and it settles their stomach.
You can actually even buy ginger root from the grocery store, tuck it into some peanut butter if you needed to, and you'd want to give that at least 30 minutes before you get in the car.
Finally, make a pet travel kit.
You have the obvious of their food bowl, food, some of their favorite treats, water, of course.
Just to be extra safe, pack for a worst case scenario.
Dog gets lost, you need to have pictures. God forbid your dogs get hurt or your dog gets hurt. You're going to want to pack a first aid kit.
It's also a good idea to have vaccination documents to cover all your bases.
The most important part is to just have fun.
Buckle up the pups with these pet road trip tips.
She gave us a checklist of 38 things, told us to have fun.
Well, you got to have that hat that the dog was wearing.
That was a
too.
good hat,
That was
yeah.
cute. All right, so do you remember this iconic TV home?
No?
Yeah, that's the Golden Girls home.
No, that's not.
Apparently, it's redone,
Oh.
right? Mm-hmm. The home is sold for $4 million.
Wow.
And it sold over the asking price. The buyer paid $1 million for, and more for the Los Angeles mid-century home used in the show starring Betty White. The house sold quickly, only being on the market for a few weeks.
It was the outside of the house.
The outside,
right,
yeah.
which we're not showing you because why would we do that? There it is. That's the house.
The show was set in Miami, right? Mm-hmm.
Miami is nice. So I'll say it thrice. No word on who bought it, but you probably don't know him. 527. Coming up next on News 3 this morning, we're talking about the big election, mail-in ballots coming up. We're going to learn what North Carolina's Attorney General plans to do if the Trump administration does not allow